Mike Murdoch here. What a joy to have Pastor Clint Ross and his beautiful wife here. There's so much in him. You've got to have his book on honor. He'll tell you how to do it, but I just want to talk here 2 minutes before he comes back for another teaching. Those who have what you don't have know something you don't know. I sat with David Wilkerson one time, and the man that heads the Teen Challenge. I preach for Teen Challenge all over the world, Spain, France, Germany. But he told me one time, he said, there are some gifts you cannot receive. What? He said, there's some gifts you cannot receive. He said, I had a man to give me Mackinac Island for my ministry. But my research showed that one building alone costs $80,000 a year just for the electricity. That never crossed my mind. I thought if God gave you something, you use it. But he said there are some gifts you cannot receive because the cost is too great. You're not set up for it. One of the greatest preachers on earth was named Rex Humbard. Had a huge church in Akron, Ohio. He had planes, he had everything you could ask for. He had a big, beautiful cross on the top of his building. Loved it. Sweetest man you'd ever want to meet. His wife was a fireball, Maud Amy. He said the happiest day of his life was when he built the building. He was so proud. He said the second happiest day of my life was when I sold the building. There's always something you don't know about. There's always a hidden cost. Maintenance. Many people have bought a home only to find out the taxes, the insurance, the plumbing, the roof leaking. Right now, I've had a bid to fix my roof right here where I just moved in. They want $100,000 to repair the roof. I just bought it. I thought everything was okay. The unknown calls for research. And I want to say that to all of you. Do more research. I remember the day that I made a decision that I wouldn't buy anything, wouldn't do no repairs, nothing, until there was 5 different bids from 5 different companies. My staff hated it, didn't like it. They said it takes up so much time, it delays us. Let me tell you 2 stories. My roof leaked in my home. First bid, $7,500. Second bid, $7,500. Third bid, I think there were 5 or 6, 7 bids, all of them around $7,577. I said, get one more. Dr. Brock, they're all this price. They're all this is. I said, just get one more bid. And it was $750 by the best contractor around. Something was wrong at the Wisdom Center. So we brought people in. First bid, $14,000 to repair the air conditioner. $14,000 to repair the air conditioner. Well, that's air conditioner expensive, Dr. Rock, And after a few weeks, we decided to send one of our people on our staff up there, and they weren't into air conditioners. That wasn't their calling. You know what was wrong? A box was behind the vent. A box was behind the vent. The box was behind the vent. We removed it. There was no repair needed. I wanted to paint the hall of the Wisdom Center. I got 5-6 bids. $2,500, $2,600, $2,300. Okay. I said, I have a friend that's a preacher. He's got a contracted company. I've known him for years. He's worked for me. I know his dad. Call him in and ask him to give you a bid. And it was $18,000. $18,000. So I went to supper with him and I said, son, we've been friends for years. All the other bids are under $2,700. Why did you ask me for $18,000 to paint a hall at the Wisdom Center? He giggled his way out. He snickered and said, oh, I didn't really want the job. I just threw those numbers down there. I said, but wait, hold it. You are a preacher. I'm a pastor. I've been your friend for years. Why would you do that? Get all bids written down. Isn't that something? One more. I see 3 or 4 trees at my property, 7-acre yard I'd lived in 40 years. They needed some trimming. So I called a man through my staff, said, would you come trim my trees? And they said, he said it'll cost $50 an hour for 2 people. They could do it in a day, you know. But it wasn't written down. It wasn't written down. There was no purchase order written down with his name on it. And he sends me an invoice for $16,000 to trim 3 or 4 paper trees. I called him, I said, brother, I've known you for years. Why would you charge me $16,000 to trim 3 or 4 trees? I'm not afraid of you, preacher. You want to take this on the road? You want to take this? I'll come over there right now. I'm not afraid of you, preacher. And I called my lawyer and I said, what do I do? She says he will tie you up in court for 2 to 5 years. All I wanted was my trees trimmed. That's all I was wanting. That's all I was wanting. I'd say the last 4 months or so, my teaching has been so protective. Don't know why. Did you get my thing about the bank yesterday? Did you see that? I went to get some money to buy 2 or 3 pieces of gold. And the manager came out there and looked at me like a devil, got in my face with the other lady and says, what are you going to do with this money? And I said something I shouldn't have. I just closed down the ministry for a few seconds and went into the Mike Murdoch Irish Indian. I'm 1/8 Cherokee Indian, 7/8 Irish. And I looked at her. I was so upset. All I asked was for some money out of my bank account. That's all I asked. And she says, what are you going to do? I said, what am I going to do with my money? I said, it's none of your jackass business. I'm the manager here. She was holding my money. And I was having a fight. And it wasn't a big withdrawal. Just try to buy a couple pieces of silver, that's all. I said, you realize I could lie to you if I wanted to. And you couldn't do anything if I lied. She just stared. I know. I said, well, I'm just going to buy a couple of pieces of gold, that's all. And I was here in the area, and I just thought I'd drop by the bank and get some of my money out. You think this bank collapse is a little once-in-a-lifetime thing? Do you think that? Anyway, Mike Murdoch here. I'll be right back in a moment with a man I greatly admire. Listen to his teaching on honor. Listen to it. It'll make a difference.